Welcome to Doug in Exile. We have right here the original Trump Leslie Stahl interview edited. And you're going to see exactly how 60 Minutes edited. This is from back in 2020 when they first tried to dive bomb Trump's campaign. So the original just got released. And you'll see they took out every point that Trump makes that was true. And then they leave in everything when it's not, when it might not make them look as good, but it's purely the media trying to brainwash you. And this is, I was raised, my parents, we watched 60 Minutes together. It's 60 Minutes. They were like the Sterling, expose the news, they were the biggest expose. And this is just flat out Russian rat communist propaganda. Let's watch this real quick. When you see the top and the bottom are both in color, then you know that the edited version is matching the original.
You would interview Joe Biden like you interview me. It would be so good. You know what?
You like this, I thought. I thought you
I don't
liked
mind it. I don't mind it. But when I watch him walk out of a store, he's in the midst of a scandal.
Okay, so you see the bottom one, when the bottom one turns black and white, that means that they edited all this out. So here he's talking about Biden being in the midst of a scandal. So CNN did not want this truth to get out.
His family is corrupt. Okay, he's corrupt. He's a corrupt politician. And he's walking with ice cream. And the question the media asks him, what kind of ice cream, what flavor ice cream do you have? And he's in the midst of a scandal.
He's not.
And he's taking, of course he is,
No,
Leslie.
come on.
Of course he is.
You
See
know, they
that?
had the Senate
So
committee Republicans.
you're like big tech.
So here he goes, black and white again. So this is all being edited out. He goes, you're like big tech. So as long as the bottom is black and white, this is what CNN didn't want you to see. Here's the rest of this.
You're protecting him, and everyone is, except for
Yeah, but you're taking something that was investigated
Leslie,
by a
let me ask
Republican
you.
committee.
You think it's okay for the mayor of Moscow's wife to give him millions and millions of dollars, $3.5 million, to give his family $3.5? Do you think it's okay for Hunter Biden to say that we're giving the big guy 10% of this massive amount of money they're taking in? Do you think it's okay for all of these horrible things that you've seen where they're getting hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars, where China gives them $1.5 billion to manage the family, $1.5 billion, and then he's supposed to negotiate? Let me tell you, it's the biggest scam.
That was all cut out by 60 Minutes. Even if they didn't, which they didn't believe it at the time, but even if they didn't believe it, they didn't want you to know that this is what Trump thought. If I was 60 Minutes, they could have put this out and said, look, Trump is so nuts, he believes this stuff. But they wouldn't even do that because they were afraid. What really probably happened is they probably knew it was true. Trump's going to tell Leslie Stahl later, he goes, this is true. Because they would have similar sources as the government. This was all known by then. James, Jim Jordan and Comer went through all of the bank records and stuff and proved everything Trump just said here true.
Second biggest scandal. The biggest scandal was when they spied on my campaign. They spied on my campaign.
There's no real evidence of that.
Of course there is. It's all over the place. Leslie,
Sir,
they spied on my campaign and they got caught.
Can I say something? This is 60 Minutes, and we can't put on things we can't verify.
You won't put it on because it's bad for Biden.
We can't put on things we can't verify.
Leslie, they spied on my campaign. It's been totally verified.
No.
It's been, just go down and get the papers. They spied on my campaign, they got caught.
No.
And then they went much further than that, and they got caught. And you will see that, Leslie, and you know that, but you just don't want to put it on the air.
As a matter of fact, I don't know that.
Okay.
And you're out
So
there.
why don't you get back to your interview and let's go.
All right.
So what's coming up here? This is anything black and white down at the bottom was edited out.
You said in the briefing room, nobody likes me. It can only be my personality.
I said that jokingly. That is sarcastic. Nobody likes me. It must be my personality. I say it all the time. Nobody likes me. It must be my personality. I say it all the time, Leslie.
Do you think that your tweets and your name calling are turning people off.
No, I think I wouldn't be here if I didn't have social media, because the media is,
The name
Corrupt.
call.
The media is corrupt. All of that cut out.
Let's
in my
talk
opinion,
about-
the media is corrupt. But,
You know,
but
you
the
told-
media is fake. And frankly, if I didn't have social media, I'd have no way of getting out my voice.
You know what you told me a long time ago when I asked why you keep saying fake in the
Yeah.
media?
Yeah,
You said to me, I say that because I need to discredit you so that when you say negative things about me, no one will believe
I
you.
don't have to discredit you.
But that's what you
You've
told me.
discredited yourself.
You told me that,
Leslie, you've discredited yourself. When you say that you're not going to cover Biden, you're going to ask him what flavor ice cream he has, okay?
That's not
Instead
me.
of why did Hunter get $3.5 million from Moscow? Instead of why is an energy company paying your son $183,000 a month or whatever they're paying him, and he has no experience in energy. You know,
That's the entire evidence against Hunter Biden. They completely pulled out of the and it's all true. He had no experience in energy and was getting money from Russia and China.
you discredit yourself. I don't have to discredit you.
so this story about Hunter and his laptop, some repair shop found it. The source is Steve Bannon and Rudy Giuliani.
I don't know anything about
And
that.
you're
I just know it's a
making-
laptop,
and
and they
you're-
haven't.
And you're making this one of the hottest, most important issues in your rallies.
And it was this is all cut out. The laptop actually was one of the hottest, most important issues of 2020. In fact, this is even funnier, as they say, if she did run this interview, they say that the laptop, running that Hunter Biden laptop story, would have allowed Trump to win in 2020, that there's a percentage enough of a difference in what people thought of Joe Biden that Trump would have won. And guys, if Trump won in 2020, you would not be getting the entire government reformation that you're getting right now. This is another weird kind of window into a different reality of what could have happened. And thank God it didn't happen. But let's continue just to further discredit 60 Minutes as this pristine, amazing news show. What a yellow journalist scam. Just giant propaganda scam. I'd love to hear their opinion of my show. I want them to put me on the air and say, Doug TenNapel is he's a talking influencer. He just repeats, Trump information. He doesn't tell the truth. I'd love to hear their opinion of me. He's tabloid journalism. He's sensational. He sensationalizes things. I'd love to hear their opinion of me, because these people have been doing this for years. They've had bias against Christians, conservatives, Republicans, and now Trump against MAGA, because MAGA is where who are the deplorables, the filthies, the bucket of deplorables, the discarded Americans, the forgotten Americans. I despise elites. I despise these snobs. Let's get back to, remember, everything where the bottom is black and white has been edited out.
I don't know about the
This
two
is the
gentlemen you
most
mentioned.
important issue in the country.
It's a
right
very
now.
important issue to find out whether or not a man's corrupt who's running for president, who's accepted money from China and from Ukraine and from Russia.
All these
Yeah, I think
things
that's
have
an
been
important issue.
investigated and
It's
discredited.
incredible the way you can try and say this and sit there and look me in the eye and say it.
A Republican
He accepted money,
committee-
his family, from Russia, from Ukraine, from China, and from other places.
and a
His
Republican-
brother, who didn't have experience, became a big builder in Iraq without experience. Take a look at what's going on, Leslie. And then you say how that shouldn't be discussed.
His brother, Jim Biden, who made money in Iraq building and never built anything before, and Jim Biden, who got a pardon, a blanket pardon by Joe Biden. And 60 Minutes, I'm doing my welcome to TenNapel Minutes. We're going to look into the scandal. Me announcing that Jim Biden got pardoned after going to into Iraq. And Trump's a builder, okay? And Jim Biden got all these contracts, never built anything before, made millions and millions of dollars. And then Biden preemptively excuses him. I just said that on my channel. And 60 Minutes, which claims to be a news organization, won't say it. And Leslie Stahl and 60 Minutes, I'm a barely literate comic book artist. I make comic books and I paint paintings. I'm not in the news professionally. I didn't go to school of journalism. I make comic books and I paint and I draw and I animate. And I'm better at news than you because you're not willing to tell the truth. You're not willing to. That's why people like me have audiences like this, because you, 60 Minutes, are fraud liars. You're so bad at it that anyone can walk in off the street and do better than you. For those of you guys who've made it all the way to the end, thank you for watching. I can't thank you enough. I'm Doug, in exile.